Hey everyone, I would like to announce I'm sorry I didn't get the reviews done on time and everything. I would like to make a quick apology about. To make up for this, let's go talk about summonings in Yu Gi Oh! The way to get your monsters out in the field and everything else. So, yes. Yeah, this is probably the makeup for it. Let's talk about pretty much the specials summonings. Things that happen. We have obvious normal summoning, obvious tribute summoning. Normal summoning is obvious. Tribute summoning is you get just basically sacrifice a minion or a spell, whatever, and then one, 5 or 6, just one. 7 and higher, 2. Special summoning. Basic list of the requirements is fusion summoning, combine 2 and 1. And this was also the first summoning mechanic that requires you to use the extra deck, or once called the fusion deck. Before they just decided after synchros exists, it was become. It's mainly doesn't one of the few summoning methods that require the extra deck a bit more. Fusions is more where you need polymerization or whatever card equivalent, or any card that can do fusion summoning, and you have these characters. Yeah. Interestingly enough, like I said in my 7th review, a bit, during the Master Rules 4 or New Master Rules, pretty much you can only summon extra monster, monsters from the extra zone and the extra monster zone before this rule mostly remove all except for prisms and link. X2 basically normal summoning. Although this rule has been reversed during the revisions. Fusion is to combine 2 monsters into one, and yeah, it's kind of obvious. Mostly either just have the materials, or be specific with the actual material you needed. You also get to ritual summons, which are simply the least focused out of the bunch. Yeah. Not really focus as much, but they basically require you to have, hey, here's a spell for that one card. Or I'm going to be using Black Lich, which requires that you have a ritual spell. And once you use the ritual, you also need to fill in this as a requirement, and poof, you actually got the monster. Although, yeah, most of these monsters now, a lot of these ritual monsters do have normal counterparts, so yeah. Next, we also get to the new thing called Synchro Summons, which are kind of basically, hey, here's a. Now, it's basically requiring you to have a tuner. Yeah, they're introducing a new type they call tuners. Basically, the main re. Basically, the main reason. Basically, the things that can help with synchros. Sure, they can also be used for other materials, but they're mostly there just to basically mainly be synchro. Mainly there for synchro. They're mainly there for synchros. We also got to XYs or XY, Z summons, XY and Z summons, or XE summons, which are requiring you to have which overlays monsters, but although you can subtract or add. Basically, you need 2 monsters to be added into one. which you need 2 monsters for 1, and boom, you have. You just need the same amount to summon it. Same number star level to summon that's the monster. And then you also get the Prism Summons, which basically I can summon multiple monsters at once. And basically you really need is basically to put in its own zone or before moving it. Nowadays just basically the spell slot. And basically try to able to summon multiple monsters at once. And last but not least, at least for Master Duel wise, Link Summons. Link Summons are basically mostly this is where a lot of the extra monster zones and basically what Master Duel 4 was pretty much. Now basically you need monsters that are basically have at least 4 where you need some certain links, whatnot. So yeah, basically you're required to have a certain amount of monsters and then link together. They're basically the only thing that doesn't. Now link monsters don't really have attacks, to be honest. So you're basically summoning. Basically, you just need certain. Now, by the way, link monsters do count as depending on how many numbers, by the way, of the arrows linked. So yes, you can summon a firewall dragon if you want, which also in turn allows the firewall or dragon to be there. Excuse me. Excuse me. So yeah. Okay, a bonus, but there's Maximus. Basically, I pretty much have. They're basically simply Exodia, but make them basically powerful. Yeah, I'm not gonna go much in depth. Yeah, sorry if I need to spoil pretty much what I'll be reviewing if I ever continue to review Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, but I decided I want to throw in this as a bonus. Basically take up the entire board, and they essentially act as basically if the Exodia was basically a summoning method. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed this filler video, by the way, to make up for pretty much not reviewing dual monsters this week or so. Anyways, bye!